They say the way to a person's heart is through their stomach. Which is wrong and stupid because they forgot the real way to a person's heart is through reaction-based platforming with 2000s-era Sega-inspired visuals and sound. That's right, Toree 3, baby! If you've been around since my old and crusty phase when I used to have skin, one of my most popular oldest videos is one where I talked about every single game made by the developer known as Sioctro. And one of the people who liked that video was the main man themselves who made them. For some reason, this video was uploaded in 720. What did you see in this, Marcus? So after pulling some strings, twisting arms, and threatening harm, I was able to secure myself an early review code of their most recent project, Toree Saturn. And now you know me, I love the Sega Saturn / Dreamcast era, so this seemed right up my alley. I liked Toree 3 and I really enjoyed Toree 2, but Toree Saturn blows those two straight out of the water. I liked the first two a whole lot, but damn, this one passed all expectations. The setup for this one is just about as simple as all the past Sioctro games. Toree's Metal Sonic equivalent, known as Hockey, challenges you to a race, loses hard, joins evil society for bad guys that do nefarious things, steals the new ice cream flavor hitting the shelves, Toree's gonna kill someone. I mean, look, it's a 3D platformer for $5. How in-depth do you want the story to be? What is in-depth, though, is this game's controls. I want to paint you a beautiful little picture of how it is to play Toree Saturn. Take the music, the visuals, and the momentum of Sonic Adventure, and mix them with the movement and precision of Mario Odyssey. And that is what Toree Saturn is. I genuinely have not had this much fun in a 3D platformer, probably since Odyssey. Here's how the gameplay works. Toree only has a few moves to their name. There's jumping and double jumping, which is constant between every game. Then there's the new additions to the moveset for Saturn, as well as a moveset subtraction. Yeah, there's no longer a run button, it's just done automatically, which thank God. Not just because I don't want to hold the button the whole time, but because of how everything else requires so much of my thumb energy, which is because of the new additions to the moveset for Saturn, which both strike me as very Sonic inspired, somewhat predictably. The homing attack, which is literally just Sonic's homing attack, put simply. And my favorite, the ground pound / roll. I don't know what to call this actually. I'm just gonna be calling it the roll for simplicity's sake. Hitting this in the air will cause Toree to drop immediately to the ground and shoot out whichever direction you're holding. That's all he has, and I like it. It definitely has that Sonic vibe of simplicity to the controls. Now, the homing attack can only home in on one of two things: these little stars that send you slightly upward, and these hollowed ones that launch you like Mario launch stars. Did I seriously just write stars that launch you like launch stars? I can't believe I call myself a fucking writer. Yeah, much similar to the last Toree games, you can't damage enemies. So all of them are pretty much just walking obstacles. Unlike all of the last ones, there's a noticeable lack of them this time. Several levels are even completely barren of them. While this does make this the easiest game out of all of them by far, that doesn't mean it isn't the most brutal. Because of the new additions to the movement in the form of the roll and the homing attack, the ranks at the end of each level are now crazy tight, which frankly, I loved. Only one thing is required in order to get the best rank possible. Get there as fast as possible. Nothing else matters. The game has this beautiful flow state that I genuinely just can't get enough of. Propelling yourself with a roll into a homing attack off of a star so you can propel yourself faster, leading into another roll and repeating around the environment is genuinely so addictive. I was just gonna get one or two of the S ranks for demonstration purposes, but lo and behold, I got all of them. It goes from C at the bottom to S with some sparkles at the top. I have no idea why they didn't just do D through S and felt the need to bedazzle one of the ranks, but it looks cool regardless. Genuinely, the way Toree controls with the roll, I have not felt this way slingshotting myself off of random things in the environment to try to get better since playing Anton Blast. And that's one of my favorite goddamn games of all time. Trying to perfectly roll on the edges of platforms over pits to shave off half seconds for that beautiful ass S rank will never not be satisfying. And the way the level designs accommodate you just breaking the hell out of the game is so immaculate. Honestly, the only level that doesn't feel like it lets you completely off the leash is the first one, and that's just because it's the general instructions for how to play. And even then, it's still pressuring you to go fast. It's a race against the game's antagonist that starts the plot. There is literally no way you could lose this race, mind you, but making the player feel like they can is so cool. Every other level though is so freaking fun. All of them feel perfectly designed for exactly how you would want to spend the least amount of time as possible. Tight corners over pits that can be cut, giant structures that can be jumped off of, skipping bits of platforming. It's so easy to feel that every level was rigorously fine-tuned and playtested to maximize the speedrunning appeal. I should know, I was one of them. Every single level is such a joy to blast through. New Sioctropolis, Cloud Paradise, Temple of Ka, Fleet Exhibit, all of them are such a blast trying to abuse their level designs, which got even funner to do after I discovered an interesting quirk about the movement that is technically a glitch. So as I was going through all of the S ranks, I noticed a little quirk about the roll move. If you use the ground pound and it's interrupted in any any way, then the little star visual effect will just keep swarming around Toree, getting larger and larger until you touch the ground again. Doing so will make you shoot out like a fucking rocket backwards the long jump style. And this goes for any way the ground pound is interrupted. If you homing attack on a star, then ground pound at just the right moment, it'll register you as ground pounding the star, thereby interrupting the ground pound, letting you store the roll momentum. What does any of this mean? It means you can just fucking demolish these levels. I was so certain that this wasn't supposed to be here based off of how specific the activation was, that I even DM'd Marcus just to double check, and lo and behold, I'm one of 2 people to discover this. Discovering ground pound storage, as I will be calling it, was the funniest moment of playing through this game for me. Getting all of the S ranks and unlocking a secret level at the end of the game just to discover there's a way to do it a billion times faster while turning my thumb into dust is awesome. Genuinely, this movement and playstyle has so much sauce, but I need to move on before I spend the whole review just talking about it. The other thing I adore about Toree Saturn is the visual style. You see, Toree 1 and 2 were going for more of a PlayStation 1/N64 kind of aesthetic. With Toree Saturn, it's predictably going for more of a Sega Saturn look, which frankly I think looks gorgeous. The absolute style dripping off of every corner of this game cannot be understated. The filter that makes things in the distance more pixely authentic to the style. The Japanese text every time you homing attack that I can't read but I'm sure says something cool. All of the adorable animations with Toree and the little star dude in their backpack. And the improved level themings. With the last 2 games, it was 8 levels with 4 themes between them, with one final special level right at the end with its own theme. So 5 themes in total with 9 levels. But now every level theme is unique. It makes each level stand out a whole lot more in my mind personally. And of course leads to each level being a lot more memorable. One thing that the levels do share, however, that I really enjoyed was all of the plants just growing everywhere. On the clouds, there's vines and palm trees, or across the buildings. I don't know, just this overgrown kind of feel looks really nice. Not even like a post-apocalyptic thing, just plants just everywhere. It was really cool. Because of how everything is unique, the one time in the whole game when they reuse a theme, it makes it really damn cool. I'll get to that when I talk about the spoilers though, because yes, there are parts of this game that need to be seen for a first playthrough. One of those things I think needs to be heard for yourself, because this music, holy shit. The music in the first and second game was already great, but hot damn, they knocked it out of the park with Saturn. Like, just for a second, listen to the opening theme of the game, Blackbird Down. This game is $5 and the other themes don't disappoint either. Big Snake, Cloud Paradise. But to talk about my favorite themes, I think we need to talk about how the game progresses. If I haven't convinced you to already buy the game, the rest of the video is talking about things I think would be really cool to experience for yourself. I don't want to say spoiler for the story because like it's not crazy in depth, but a lot of it is best experienced with your own eyes. But with that out of the way, I love how each level naturally flows into each other. After Toree learns what Hockey's up to, they start heading his way, which takes them through the city of New Seacropolis, then through the roadway of the Starry Highway, which has an elevator leading up to Cloud Paradise, which then has Toree jumping down from the clouds to Fleet Exhibit, which has them finding Hockey there, getting them shot into the middle of the jungle, which is the Temple of Ka. I love how you can see what the next level is from where you are. Like the previous games, the levels really never meant to connect. Like yeah, 1 minute you're in a lava base, the next minute you're in hell. It's not really made to make sense, it's made to be fun. But with Saturn, it feels like all of the levels are connected. And of course, because I'm talking about it now, it means it ends with the temple level. When Toree gets to the end, they find a portal leading to Glitchy's dimension from the second game. After running through the level, they find Glitchy, who they ask for help, which leads to my favorite level of the game. Fleet Extinction has Glitchy just fucking annihilating this entire battleship fleet. It's incredible. And the music that plays during this segment. This game also has a ton of cool set pieces I love. Most of the level is just you on top of these little auto lightways Glitchy creates for you, but it's not about that. It's about how damn cool this feels. This game definitely has a lot more moments that make you feel cool compared to the first game, and honestly, I'm all here for it. And one of those segments is certainly the finale. I'm not just gonna verbatim tell you the story since it's literally just events happening one after another. So Hockey takes Glitchy's scythe and challenges you to a new race to make up for the last one. And this is seriously the most awesome moment of what I feel is any game they've made. The race is styled after what I can imagine is Daytona because they have this stupid ass announcer that made me lose it. Every time one of you passes the other, they announce it and it's really funny. It's honestly a pretty challenging race too, especially since the last lap has him summoning in a bunch of set pieces from previous levels to block the road. But this isn't just a cool moment because of the rematch or the Daytona announcer. It's also because of the song that plays during this. Rings of Saturn is genuinely up there with a lot of Crush 40's ending Sonic songs for me. I'm dead ass.
Round and round we go, to the south I know, at the finish line that we will be heroes of all space and time. You know I can fly high, around the sky, you and I.
Rings of Saturn being up there with Crush 40's Sonic ending songs does make a lot of sense actually, considering the lead singer of Crush 40 sings this. How did you do that, Marcus? This entire soundtrack is such a joy. I love every single song here. Don't be surprised if a lot of this shows up in future videos. Also, for the end of the story, Glitchy Mercs Hockey rip. The story is just, of course, go stop the guy from doing the bad thing, but everything connecting the levels this time around is so much stronger. But that's pretty much it for the main campaign of Toree Saturn. But if you know Toree, you know it has a bunch of weird little secrets, and this game kicks them up to the extreme. Pretty much every Siactro game has always had very strange unlockables in them, but this game takes the cake for the weirdness. For starters, there's 9 different costumes you can unlock. Unlike tradition, there aren't any other playable characters. Every character has the exact same moveset here. And if I'm going to be honest, I'm okay with that, considering that means I can play as anybody and I don't have to worry about not getting ranks, or them just being completely overpowered. And I like what the skins do for the secrets, being an incentive to do literally everything. Like hidden in some of the levels, there are mini games you can unlock based off of random retro games of the time. Just going from my least favorite to most favorite, there's this one card game that I can't quite place what it's based off of that was just fine. Can't really see myself replaying this one, honestly. There's this one inspired by Wave Race, which I thought was really cool, where you have to drift around these corners really precisely. And then there's just dead-ass Nights into Dreams, like that's just straight up what this is. After winning one of the mini games, you'll unlock a corresponding skin. I like the loop of these a lot. First you need to find them, then play them, and then you get the reward. It's cool. I also like how their access to this replica Sega Dreamcast home screen, it's cute. It also lets you play all of the music from here, which is very useful considering at the time of me writing this, none of the OST is available online because I'm writing this before anybody else can play the game. But the mini games, of course, aren't the only secret thing you can unlock. Also in the bonus hub is this giant skate park. Cool, I guess. This has like actual trick mechanics to it too, but it just ended up being me going in a big circle. And the big thing in the bonus hub is the rift in the corner, challenging you to get all A ranks, and I'm pretty sure what is every collectible star. I ended up getting over this number by the end of my playthrough, so I'm not exactly sure why it's so specific, but I digress. Meeting these requirements unlocks little areas from other Siactro games. You get to go through the desert level of Kiwi 64 where you can unlock him as a playable character, and also a 2D segment where you unlock Beanie that made me burst out laughing when I saw it. Kiwi has cell shading, which I thought looked cool, but then Beanie is literally just a 2D image spinning around. It's dumb as hell. I love it. This game is absolutely chock full of secrets, and at the time of me making this, I still technically haven't found all of them. Marcus, I know you're probably watching this because I sent it to you, so I'm sorry I was too stupid to figure out what the hell Macbat's clue led me to. Yes, I know it's on top of a temple, but I could not find which top temple. But ignoring that, your final reward for everything is a bonus level right at the end, which is a 1-to-1 recreation of the first level of Toree 3D. Seeing Glamour City again literally made me do the fucking pog face at my monitor screen. It's also an amazing level for perspective about the game's new movement. The level design is mostly unchanged. In the first game, it takes about 2 minutes to get through it, but in Saturn, it can be done in 30 seconds flat. It's really funny. I love all of this game's secret unlockables, especially the characters. You can get Pengu from the Patreon exclusive Pengu Blast, the previously mentioned Kiwi and Beanie, random characters like whoever the hell this guy is in the mask, and my personal favorite was the Toree 3D trio unlocked for beating Glamour City. It's Toree's original design, Macbat, and Tasty all sandwiched together into one adorable little thing. But that's pretty much it for the unlockables. Yes, I'm aware I missed one, but shut up, okay? Overall, Toree Saturn is a blast. For just $5, you can definitely get your money's worth with this. Heavily recommend this for anybody who's into momentum-based platformers. Like literally, if you can afford a gas station bag of chips, you can afford this game, okay? Also, I would like to thank Marcus themselves for hooking me up with this game. It's an absolute pleasure considering I'm a huge fan of your work. I bought like 2 of those Kiwi plushes from Makeshift, so it's an absolute honor getting early dibs on the game. And thank you you to everybody else for watching. I know this video is a lot shorter than you were probably expecting considering how long I've been gone, but by the time you'll be hearing this, we are finally done moving. Fully at the new house, still unpacking, but I can finally sort of start dedicating to YouTube videos again. And especially thank you to my channel members, which you can become right now for just $1. I'm kind of jobless right now, so everything helps. Alright, I'm Toreeing out of here.
Also, can Glitchy be my dad? Yes, absolutely. Glitchy would love that.